The Spirit of the Lord has been poured out on all flesh, and it's your choice to accept it or reject it. Listen to what the Lord said to Job in the book of Job. And it shall come to pass afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy. Your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions. And also upon the servants and upon the handmaids in those days will I pour out my spirit, and I will show wonders in the heavens and in the earth, blood and fire and pillars of smoke. The sun shall be turned into darkness, the moon into blood, before the great and terrible day of the Lord come. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, as the Lord has said, and in the remnant whom the Lord shall call. So our goal in life is to make sure that we are a part of that remnant that the Lord has called to his service, to be his chosen people. The thing that we need to recognize is that it is of the spirit, not the flesh, right? So when you pass judgment on who a man is based off his father, I mean, in 3 generations, you wouldn't know who you are. You wouldn't know if you black or white. Let you have a seed and it's mixed, and then that seed go with the other race for 3 generations, then you would be wiped out, and you'd never know you was a father of a white child, or vice versa. A black person, a white person would be the father of a black child and not know it after 3 generations of the seed only being with this one race. Now, when you push that out for a couple hundred years, how do you know? Because 23andMe told you that you this thing, because you got curly hair, blind hair, blue eyes. The Aboriginals got blind hair, right? In Australia. Most of them, and then they got white folks in Africa. They call them albinos. They got blue-eyed black people, you know? And so how do you know what's what? You see in the story of the 2 twins, one came out white and one came out black. This is modern day stuff, right? And you sitting here and you reason among yourself that you this thing, but you're not this thing. You're not the body. You're the spirit. And so because a class of people had reigned over you and done terrible things to you, you have hate in your heart. But the Lord had promised these things unto you in the first 5 books of Moses. So he would have mercy on who he would have mercy on, and compassion on who he would have compassion on. Remember that the servant of the Lord Moses, he didn't get to see the promised land, right? And so Saul, he was anointed by God, and then the Lord put an evil spirit upon him. Job was God's man, Job, and he was tested by the devil and brought to nothing and then rebuilt. Even our Messiah, Jesus Christ, Yeshua HaMashiach, he was crucified and he walked this earth without even a home, right? Foxes have their dens, but the Son of Man had not a place to lay his head. So I say this to say that, remember, we are not the flesh. This body is a vessel. We are spirit, and we are to worship in spirit and in truth. So if a man will spiritually join the house of Israel, right, and he ain't of the flesh, but how will we know at this point, right, when the tribes have been scattered throughout all nations, right? This is long before Jesus Christ came, and they had mixed and blended with all nations. So there's a remnant of that seed in all nations, if I would guess, because I don't know, it is written, I will scatter them among all nations. So the Lord tells us, right, Jesus Christ in the book of John, God is a spirit. And they that worship him must worship him in spirit and in truth. So, to deny man acceptance into the house of Israel because of his flesh is wrong. That's wrong. To have hate in your heart toward another person because of his flesh, that's wrong. If his spirit be the spirit of the devil, then cast him away. But if he had circumcised his heart, or the Lord circumcised his heart, who are you to pass judgment and say this thing is not okay? When it's written in the scripture, many will come from the east and the west, north, the south, and sit down with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. But the children of the kingdom are going to be cast into utter darkness. You're going to miss the signs. You're going to have hate in your heart. Because the Lord Jesus Christ teaches us to love our enemies, to do good to them that hate you, persecute you, and despitefully use you. I mean, the Lord commanded us to be kind and loving to our slave owners, our masters, those evil ones that had whipped and beat and even say, the more terrible things that have been done, the rape and the murders and all that, to still have love and compassion in your heart for those people. And, when you think some of these evil acts, it might not even be the act of this person. They might have been under possession by a demonic spirit, right? And that's why you say love them, right? Because they didn't even do it. They was possessed, taken over by a whole other entity, right? Our scriptures teaches us about that men have devils in them. And this is, from old to new. Like I said, the Lord sent the evil spirit upon Saul. He didn't say the devil, he said the evil spirit from the Lord. The Lord created everything. Good God Almighty, the Father in heaven, created all things, the good and the evil. He sent his rain on the just and the unjust, right? So all things are created from God. And you had not the authority to say who and who cannot enter the kingdom of heaven.